guys, this is Pastor Jim.
And this is Seth.
Welcome to Primary Camp Meeting. Dear Jesus, you're such a powerful God, and I just want to serve and praise you. Thank you for showing your power in the Bible and to me and your disciples today. Amen. Silas is going to show us how he does an honest day's work, earns money, and then how he manages and spends his money.
Can I get some jobs to earn some money?
That sounds like a really good idea. You're trying to earn some money. I think we could work something out here. So tell me, what kind of jobs are you good at?
Taking out garbage, cleaning the barn, taking care of the animals, brushing the donkeys.
Okay, I think I have a couple jobs for you. How about, can you help me take out the garbage? I have a couple windows that need cleaning. The barn could be swept. Good, I'm glad. We're on the same page there. What about, can you help me with a couple of the barn animals? Are you good with animals? Okay. With goats, good. I have some goats that you can help with. And how about making a bed? I love it.
Clean the beds and make the beds.
Come outside the barn, make his bed.
The barn?
Pygmy goat.
Just sprinkle some out.
A minute, sweetheart.
Just like the donkeys, he's not gonna bite.
Did he get it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
This is Adeline. A slobbery horse. Collecting eggs. I'm putting them in so gently so they don't crack.
Get out of here. You're not sitting on me. Don't be a broody.
Using my shirt as a basket because the bucket's far away. And I put them in gently still so they don't crack. Chickens lay eggs.
Do you see any blue ones you can show them?
They can be many different colors. And a straight one. And it's a guinea egg. Guinea egg, chicken egg, chicken egg, chicken egg, chicken egg.
You take that chicken out of there. I'll be so
Hi, Dorothy.
Did you get the brush, Silas? Come here, come stand by Dorothy and Peaches, please.
And what are you combing? What are you brushing?
A donkey. Because their fur is messy.
So it cleans it up some, right?
It cleans them. You don't want to clean them every day. You know why? Because they have to get dust that cools them off.
Hey, I'm curious why you didn't walk behind the donkey.
They would kick. You don't want to go behind them or else they'll kick you and really hurt you. Like that. That's just a love thing that they do. They have a cross right here on their back. Horses don't have crosses like donkeys.
Can you think of any times in the Bible that there was a donkey?
Jesus rode a donkey down the mountain of Olives and rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, but not these. They are very nice, but one, the white one, he nibbles. And it is disgusting. And hurts. And Mary was riding on a donkey to Bethlehem.
There's another funny story about a donkey.
Balaam and the donkey, he hurt the donkey, and he kept whipping the donkey, and he was like, what in the world, this donkey's talking? But he didn't know.
What didn't he know?
And there was an angel in front of the path.
What did Balaam do when he heard the donkey talk?
He was surprised and didn't hurt the donkey anymore.
That's a Bible story, isn't it?
Does your donkey talk?
Yeah!
What does it say?
Yeehaw!
That's pretty funny.
Silas, I really appreciate you helping today and doing chores.
Mm-hmm.
You did quite a good job, didn't you? How many chores did you do?
7.
7. All right, well, you deserve to get paid for all those 7 jobs. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here. Can you shake my hand the right way? There. Thank you so much.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. $5. 4 more quarters make $1 more dollar. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dimes you count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, The Lord loves a cheerful giver. Pastor.
Silas, really good. Hi, Silas. I see you've earned some hard-earned cash today.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you doing with your money?
I'm going to give 70% to the tithe.
Well, I think you mean 10% to tithe, right? I think you mean 10% to tithe.
I want to be like Abraham who returned the tithe to God.
How much tithe is returned when you earn $1?
10 cents.
10 cents, that's right. How many dollars do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And you had some others and dimes already that made $7, right? So you had $7, and you would return a dime for every dollar, and I see you put a dime above every one of your dollars. Is that your tithe? So you already told us that you're going to return 70 cents for a tithe. That's wonderful. $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,
70.
$70. Good job. There's your, yeah, that was, I think that one was good. I love it. So there's your tithe. How are you going to spend the rest of your money? What are you going to do with these other jars up here? What's this about? What's that one say?
Offering.
Offering. I see. Are you going to put some of your hard-earned money into your offering?
Pastor, I want to give offering to missionaries.
Okay, so what kind of missions are you thinking about? I know you've been to Africa, Abe.
Madagascar.
Madagascar, and there was another place that you visited. Where did you visit?
Africa and Tanzania.
Tanzania, the country of Tanzania. And you know a place in Tanzania you visited that was called Kippadula, and they grow avocados there, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did your dad work there? Was your dad a missionary there? He was. And he took you there to visit, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful place.
Do they have animals there?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. What kind of animals do they have in Tanzania?
Crocodiles.
Crocodiles?
Hippos.
Hippopotamus?
Elephants.
Oh my.
And
Did they have giraffes?
giraffes.
Really?
Birds.
Wow. What an exciting place, an exciting adventure. So you want to give offering to keep places like that, sharing Jesus in Africa then. And then we've talked about Madagascar as well, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pastor Jim, tell me about Madagascar, please.
Tell you about Madagascar. Well, it's just off the east coast of Africa. It's north of South Africa. And straight east of Mozambique, if you're familiar with the continent. It's the third largest island in the world. And it does not have any animals that will eat you, except for...
Saltwater crocodile.
You're smart. You knew it all along, didn't you? Yeah, but it has lemurs and all kinds of fusa, all kinds of creatures.
What's Fusa?
And fusa is a cat-like creature that sometimes eats lemurs, which are kind of like monkeys.
Okay.
They grow the world's best vanilla.
Like ice cream?
They put it in ice cream.
Okay, then they give it to us. I
You
think
might
they
have
give
to
it
buy it with your money you made. But ice cream, yeah. Are you gonna put your offerings in, or what are you thinking?
thinking to give $1 for offering.
Well, that's very nice. That's very generous.
Pastor, if I gave Madagascar some offering, what would they do with it?
Okay, so what we do is mostly through the General Conference One Day Church Project, and we build new churches, we build new schools, we built some really exciting schools in places that didn't have churches before, and now the schools are full of kids and full of churches in that area now. And we've also built surgical centers for hospitals that the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital in Anapa, which is the northern part of it's right in the middle of the vanilla growing area. It's the only hospital in the area for many, many, many miles. There's no public hospital. It's only the Seventh-day Adventist Hospital there. And we built a surgical center so people can go have surgery. We built some places for people visiting surgeons from Loma Linda can come and stay for a while and help with the medical care, and nurses can come and stay, or even I could come and stay. So there's a couple places for that. And we built lots and lots of churches. Yeah.
They
That's
cost too
exciting.
much money.
It's exciting, isn't it? So we can partner together and build some more churches. So kids can have Sabbath school.
In kindergarten.
In kindergarten.
Primary is this high.
In primary. Alright, so Silas, what are these other two jars behind you? Tell me what that's all about. What is that?
Savings.
Saving? What are you doing with your savings?
I'm gonna save something to buy. I shouldn't spell it, but Legos.
Legos. I wonder if any boys and girls out there know what Legos are. You think they do?
No.
I bet every mom and dad who's had kids and woke up in the middle of the night knows exactly what a Lego is. What do you think?
I think it's a little piece. that
Yeah.
you can
You ever step on it? Anyhow, it's plentiful. So you're going to save up for some Legos. Well, good. How much are you going to save up for? And what's this other jar? Before I ask you how much you're going to save up.
Spending.
Spending? What are you going to do on spending money? What are you spending money on?
Candy.
Candy. So you're going to spend that right away then. For your friends, I think you told me earlier, wasn't it? For you and your friends, going to buy some candy, and then the long-term plan is not for a car or a house, but it's for Lego house. Very nice, very nice. Go ahead and split it up however you want, and I'd like to see how that goes for you.
I don't want to save this stuff.
All right.
Good thing to do with Legos.
It is a good thing to do.
Put all the jars.
Savings is a good plan, even if it's not for Legos, even if it's for just a rainy day.
It's not rainy. I wish it was snowing.
What? Okay, and then I assume you're going to put this in your candy jar or your spending jar. Excellent, excellent. You've done a really good job. Thank you for helping us, Silas.
I use my spending money to buy the candy. You can write a note to your friend.
What kind of thing would you write on a note to a friend?
I would write, "This is a tasty surprise." I'm gonna give my gift.
What kind of supplies do you need to do this?
I like you because we learned school together. A toilet paper roll and a picture of a flower and a bow and scissors. And you need to bend it and put candy inside and tape. Those are all three things that I can find around my house. It's made out of a toilet paper roll and a picture of a flower and a bow on it. And you put some candy for your friends in it. I bent the toilet paper roll. I flattened it and made tape on the ends so it will stick together and the candy won't go lost. I decorated it with a bow and a flower and much more that I cannot think of in my mind. That's how you make a gift box to put something in. I put some candy for my friends. Whenever I get money, sometimes I put it in a tithe envelope and I give it to Jesus and it goes to missionaries. And that's also how you return tithes. You write your name at the top of the envelope. 10% goes on the top line. That's tithe. Then you can do offering on the lines below. And then you have to add it together and put it in the total line, the very bottom. That's how you write out your tithe envelope. And then you take it to church and give it to Jesus. And put it into the offering plate.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everybody.
Wow, Silas had a great farm. He showed us how to do an honest day's work. Did you know that in the Bible, it says that if we don't do honest work, we don't eat? Yeah, I know. In Exodus, where the 10 Commandments are, it also shows us that 6 days we're supposed to labor and do all of our work. So we need to keep busy. Silas taught us how to be cheerful givers by giving candy to his friends, giving some money to the Madagascar project, and he returned his tithes and offerings. Hey guys, let's go see Marilee's museum.
Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about mathematics and arithmetic. Now, what does arithmetic have to do with seashells? In fact, what does arithmetic have to do with anything that we're studying about nature? Well, I'm going to tell you, it has a lot to do with it. Now, this all started back in the 1700s. I know we can't think back that far, but anyway, there was a man, and his name was Fibonacci. Well, he was a mathematician, and he just loved to fiddle with numbers. And so he devised all kinds of mathematical theories. In his discovery of math, he discovered the proportion of the divine connection that Christ has to all of nature. And if we look around us today, we can see math in everything that God created. Now, it starts out with some basic things here, and I don't know if you can see this in this picture or not. But anyway, all these things are symmetry in nature. All the things that God created. You can look at the leaf of a tree. You can see the veins. Everything is in proportion. Everything is numbered in proportion. In fact, did you know that your body was even in proportion? If you take your foot and put it on the floor and you measure to your waist, and then you measure from your waist to your shoulder, and your shoulder to the top of your head, that's thirds and thirds and thirds. Now, his theory goes something like 1 and 0 is 1, and 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 and 1 is 3, and 2 and 3 is 5, and 3 and 5 is 8. And it just kind of keeps going. 5 and 8 are 13, and 13 and 8 are 21, and 21 and 13 are 34, and it just keeps going and going and going. And so we can see that theory in, for instance, this shell right here. We're going to talk more about this one. But you can see here the divine proportions that God has made in this shell. Starting out here with times and then adding and adding and adding in the numbers. This is part of God's creation. I call this God's submarine. Now you can look at that same proportion in a piece of coral. You can look at the little polyps, how they grow, and they keep growing and growing and growing. Each one is mathematically in order. Everything that God created is in order. Look at here. Look at the wasp nest. Have you ever seen that perfect design? That's a hexagon. Here it is. It's perfect. Look at a pine cone. Look at the beginnings of that pine cone. Around and around and around it goes, but it's all in proportion, all mathematically in proportion. Here's a larger pine cone. Here again, you can see it. You can see that same growth patterns in pineapples, in cauliflower, in all kinds of things, in God's creation. But I'm especially interested in things in the ocean. And you can see here this spire on this shell. You can see how it goes, starts out one and one, simple, and keeps growing and growing and growing. So this is a cutaway of a shell. Here's another cutaway of a shell that has that spire. And here's another cutaway, again, seeing that same mathematical equation in all of God's creation. Then we can look at, over here, we have an egg case. This is an egg case from a little shell in the ocean called a busicon. And you can see it spires out from the center. I don't know if you can see that, but it grows around and around, and each one of these sections is perfectly symmetrical. Sea star, the same thing. Each one of the teeth in the back, symmetrical. A sea biscuit or a sea pancake, each one symmetrical, just like if you see the drawing of a starfish. And the stars in the heavens is what wrote in. And then in this box here, I have a bunch of urchin tests. Now these are the tests. This is after the needles have fallen off in a lot of these. But look at the beautiful, intricate patterns that God created. And what day did God make all these beautiful things? Do you know what day of creation? One of my favorite days of creation? You can guess. It's number 5. Yes, those are the days that God made all the small animals, all the things in the sea, all the things that He created. And do you know that there's more shells and more mollusks and things in the ocean, only second to the insects? And there's just so many things we can never quit learning. You know, God speaks to us, first of all, in nature. Did you know that's God's greatest book, is nature? And if you look around, you can see evidence everywhere, from the trees that grow, to the grass that grows, to the birds, everything. I think I have a couple of feathers here. If you look at feathers under a microscope, you would see that they're all in proportion. Not only is the feather itself in proportion, but also in proportion to how it grows on the bird. All of it designed for flight. You can see the beautiful feathers, and you can look at sometimes look at some of that stuff that you find around, and look under at a magnifying glass, and just a whole world will open up to you into all the things that God has made. Even the lowly garden spider. Have you ever thought about looking at a spider web? This is the orb web. And then there's also the tunnel web of spiders that you find maybe in the corner of the windows or someplace, or in the barn. And you look through down at an orb web. It's a beautiful, beautiful creation that little spider has made, all in God's proportion. The golden mean. It is just fascinating. We just mentioned about Fibonacci and his discovery, and he was this mathematician that I was telling you about. In his mathematical discovery, it is called the golden mean, or the divine proportion. And in other words, everything in nature, everything in creation, all follows this pattern of mathematics. And they say that they don't know that he really lived to understand that he had discovered a secret of Christ's golden proportion, that through creation and nature, it follows every pattern of all the things that God has made, that God is speaking to us.
Hey, it's time for Peg Doll's Bible Biography with Pastor Ken.
Hi, I'm Pastor Ken with another story about Elijah. This story is from 1 Kings chapter 18, again from the New American Standard Bible. Elijah said to all the people, "Come near me." And so all the people came near to him. And he repaired the altar of Yahweh which had been torn down. Elijah took 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, to whom the word of Yahweh had come, saying, "Israel shall be your name." So with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahweh. And he made a trench around the altar, large enough to hold 2 measures of seed. And then he arranged the wood, and he cut the ox in pieces and laid it on the wood. And he said, "Fill your pitchers with water and pour it on the burnt offering and on the wood." And then he said, "Do it a second time." And they did it a second time. And he said, "Do it a third time." And they did it a third time. And the water flowed around the altar, and he also filled the trench with water. And at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, Elijah the prophet came near and said, "O Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, today let it be known that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant, and I have done all these things at your word. Answer me, O Yahweh, answer me, that this people may know that you, O Yahweh, are God, and that you have turned their heart back again." And then fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt offering and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, "Yahweh, he is God. Yahweh, he is God." And then Elijah said to them, "Seize the prophets of Baal, and do not let one of them escape." And so they seized them. Now Elijah said to Ahab, "Go up, eat and drink, for there is the sound of the roar of a heavy shower." So Ahab went up to eat and drink, but Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he crouched down on the earth and put his face between his knees. And he said to his servant, "Go up now, look toward the sea." And so he went up and looked and said, "There's nothing." And he said, "Go back 7 times. And it came about at the 7th time that he said, "Behold, a cloud as small as a man's hand is coming up from the sea." And he said, "Go up, say to Ahab, prepare your chariot and go down, so that the heavy shower does not stop you." In a little while, the sky grew black with clouds and wind, and there was a heavy shower. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And then the hand of Yahweh was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and outran Ahab to Jezreel. Just like Israel of old, we need to make a choice every day who we're going to serve. And if the Lord is God, we need to serve him. So let's do that every day.
Camp meeting recap. Silas had so many fun animals on the farm. In Marilee's museum, we learned that there's a divine proportions all over the world and in everything. Can you believe it? In the Madagascar project, we learned that we need everybody's help to spread the word of Jesus. You can be a part of it just like the adults. In the Peg Doll Bible biographies, today was the end. Man, I was a little bit worried, but Elijah's God, he came through. The rocks were even burned up. All the water was gone, and you know what? The prophets of Baal, they went running. Well, I guess I'll see you next time.